It's nice and quiet. It's really peaceful tonight. The moon's gigantic. I think it's full. I didn't check. It looks full. It looked full last night too, though. It was only 94.3% full. But I just wanted to record this because this may be one of the best things I've ever cooked. And I know it don't look like much. This is just onions. You know, to anybody out there in TV land, this is just onions. There's all kinds of other stuff in there, but this is just, I was making it for a topping to go on a steak, and this is better than the damn steak. I don't know how that happened, but I don't know. I've really accelerated lately cooking. I started a cooking channel to teach someone how to cook, and you know, I've opened some doors somewhere because I've never had anything like this, and it is it's fairly simple. I cooked it for about 10 minutes. I would say 10, 12 minutes on I don't know, about medium low with the lid on the pan, and it's you know, a good, nice, tight fitting lid right here. There's a big difference when you're doing stuff like this. And I just started out to caramelize these onions, but somehow I went over the edge, and it's got fat drippings from the steak in it. It's got sugar, it's got honey, it's got God knows how many spices in it. But I encourage you to use spices, you know. And I didn't put any salt in here on purpose, but I've combined so many complementary things in this one little pan, or big pan right here, that this takes you on vacation. That's what it did to me. I've got fresh ginger in here, grated on a cheese grater. I've got roasted garlic, about a whole head of it. And I can't sit here and tell you exact amounts of anything, but this is art. This is where everything you know should just kind of come together. Now we're going to turn that heat back down. It started getting too hot. We do want it to caramelize, so we're going to just keep cooking. But these still have some sustenance right here. They still have some bulk. They're not paper thin. All the liquid's not out of them yet. And these have been cooking about 20 minutes total. I did use white sugar. That's why I added honey. If I would have put brown in there, I probably wouldn't have did that. But I got this really awesome shit right here. Japanese barbecue with soy, ginger, and garlic. So this has soy, ginger, and roasted garlic in it. We went, you know, with this profile. We took this and made a spectrum from it. And it's all very similar. There is a little bit of chicken tomato bouillon in here, but I mean a little bit. And that was the only real, you know, I thought besides the soy sauce, that's probably the only real, you know, saltiness I want to add. And so far I was right. I may shake a little bit out, but I don't know. It's about midnight right now, and there's no gunshots and shit going on like there was earlier. That's why I'm not in bed. So I stayed up for a little while to make this, and I am so glad I did, because tomorrow this is going to be better than it is today, and it's amazing. It's really, really good. We're starting to thicken our sauce up and make an au jus here. That's from the steak drippings and the butter and a little bit of bacon grease. But I can't tell you how good that tastes. I can't let you smell it through the camera either. I use cheap soy sauce. It's authentic, it says. But, you know, I was gonna maybe do some poblanos, fire roast them and put in there, but this stuff carries itself. This is so like I said, it's better than the steak. It's a New York strip I'm gonna put this on, and you know, it had some really good marbling, so I didn't want to waste that tallow, the marbling that came off of it. I didn't want to waste it. I wanted that fat. I wanted that flavor in here. Now I am looking around, you know, seeing if there's anything I need to add, and there's not. I already added it. It just needs to cook down, and the only thing I'm worried about right now is when you're cooking things down, you can lose some aroma. You can lose pretty much everything but salt. And I mean literally. That's why salt should always be added last, or very small increments, because you can't get it out. You salt something, it's salted. You onion something, that can evaporate. That can, I mean, it can literally just cook out. The flavor can cook out. Same for all your dried spices. Same for everything in here. Even the roasted garlic. I mean, that'd be the first thing that's going to go away is the roasted flavor. And if you keep cooking it long enough, that garlic flavor will damn near completely go away. Salt will not do that. But this right here, I think I've got it just bubbling just enough. Just warm enough. To really thicken up, and you don't want to add cornstarch to something like this. A lot of people do. A lot of people would cheat their way through this. It would be ready 20 minutes ago. This ain't gonna be ready for another 15 minutes. I'm not gonna record the whole process. I just kind of wanted to tell everybody out there that you don't have to have anything but flavor. No, you really don't have to have anything but good spices. And they, you know, like I said, they don't have to be good either. They can be authentic and store name, you know, store brand. So just use what you have and use a lot of it. And I don't mean go heavy-handed. I mean get complex with the shit. Don't limit yourself to, oh, I don't know this, or I don't know. This right here is not missing anything right this minute. Like, I could probably add, you know, 10 more ingredients to this. But man, I like where it's at right now. And the later in the game that you add the ingredients, the more noticeable they're going to be. They're going to not complement things anymore, per se. They're going to override the shit. They're going to be very pronounced on top of stuff that you just took 20, 40, 60 minutes to achieve. You're going to cancel it out or make it to where it's not appreciated. It's not going to, you're not going to taste that it took 40 minutes to cook. If you go adding, let's say, a whole new ingredient 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 1 minute before it's finished, you're going to taste that one ingredient or the 5 ingredients or the 10. You're going to, I don't know. It's late. I really should be in bed, but like I said, they just quit shooting. So I started this, and I can't stop till it's done. But man, is this going to be a winner when it's done. I don't even know what to say about it. Except, I may rehash what I just said. Now, these are broke down. These are sweated. This is an onion dish. This whole dish is onions. But you know what I don't taste enough of? Onions. So, I'm going to cut up 2 more small onions. Oh, you know, it's not as big as it looks. Okay. It's a pretty small onion. I'm going to put 2 more of these in there so that I have a onion flavor, because I've lost a lot of it. But my spices, they're on point. I haven't lost any heat. The bird's eye chilies that I didn't mention, they're warm but not hot. They're good. It's got some white pepper in there. It's got, I believe I said butter, tallow, onions, roasted garlic. I have put chicken tomato bouillon, soy sauce, and if anybody wants to write this shit down and comment it in the, I just gave you, oh, garlic powder and onion powder. I just gave you all the ingredients. If you want to, oh, damn it, almost left out a really important one. Now I just lightly dusted it with this, but that is definitely coming out in there. You can, it's a curry. I definitely see why Indian people do not really have recipes or name their dishes curry, because anything can be a curry for sure. And it does have lemon pepper in it also. I'm tasting that right now. I just remembered. And I'm looking through my spice cabinet to see if there's anything I haven't listed off. My drippings had this in it, a little bit of this in it. So, you know, if you're just making this on its own and you don't use drippings, you can use other types of fat, coconut oil if you want it tropical. There's a lot of different things you can do with this. And you don't just have to, you could make carrots the same way, and my God, I wish I would have made this into carrots, because I would have had a side dish instead of just a topping for some marvelous fucking steaks. So, that is all that's in there. This is what I just listed off. And if I see anything else, because I'm doing an inventory right now. The bird's eye chilies I listed off. Garlic powder, onion powder. Let's see if I got anything in my little. Ooh, okay. Ground cardamom. We're going to do that right there. A pinch. Now, I haven't done anything out of these test tubes. I definitely do not want any cumin in there. Cinnamon, cloves, none of that. We're not getting freaky with it. No masala spice blend that I made. There is a recipe, I think, on the channel for the spice blends. No thyme. It does have horseradish powder. Now, you have to do that at your own risk if you buy it. I'm not responsible for you screwing up the whole thing. What I did was dehydrated some fresh horseradish and ground it up myself, and it was very mild. Just as a hint, it was very mild. But I would never make this the same twice. I mean, I have no measurements for any of y'all to go by. I don't have any measurements for me to go by. And if I had a little bit of bay, I'd put a sprinkle or a pinch of bay in it right now. But it looks like I'm out of bay. And I don't need it. It does have the white sugar. It does have the honey. I have too many damn spices that I don't use. But as soon as I get rid of them, I'll use them. Now, coriander. Let's do a pinch of coriander. Normally I don't use that with the beef dish, but we're going to use that with the beef dish. We're going to make this topping just out of this world. $100 plate. Shit. We're going to have Alright, now I'm going to pause this and cut my onions up. Now, unless you have, I don't know, worked in lots of restaurants that have lots of dishes with onions. Lots of onions. Or been to culinary school where you cut up literally thousands of dollars worth of onions in a week or two. You probably wouldn't know to do what I just did, which is these here started out pretty wide. Damn it. Okay. Those started out pretty wide. So what I did is I cut these half as thick. Like I said, I got two of them here. They're little. Smaller than a baseball. A lot. Well, not a lot smaller, but they're smaller. Some of these, see, that's a little too wide. Alright. Fuck that onion. See, some of these are a little too wide. Let's break them up so they break up. We want them to start breaking down quicker. But for the most part, these are really thin onions. I cut them thin. Now, this video is at 18 minutes long, so that means these have been cooking for how long? Told y'all I did 10 minutes with the lid on medium high. I mean medium low. Medium low, 10 minutes with the lid. Then they were on low without a lid, and I turned it up a little bit, just a little bit past low. Went 10 minutes, and now we've been cooking for 20 minutes on right now, 18 minutes and 49 seconds. So we're gonna cook these for about 10 more minutes on medium. I'll just turn the heat up. And we're gonna get our onion flavor back because it left us and we need it back. So we're gonna bring it on back. Like it's in style right here. We're gonna do that. And then I'm gonna go to bed while these sit in the fridge and become even better overnight. So our heat's rising. We gotta be careful about our liquid right now. I got enough salt in there I don't need any more, so I'm not going to add any bouillon water. I am going to add just a splash of soy sauce. About like that. That's probably 2 tablespoons. Ooh, yeah, about dropped it. It's about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And it's starting to heat up. We want that sugar to get hot. And then that's when the beautiful shit's gonna start happening to it. But we're not letting it crystallize. We don't want the sugar to start breaking down molecularly and making little crystals and turning into caramel. We don't want that yet. So this is what we're doing. And at the end, these onions will all be just a beautiful bed of onions. You won't see the differences. So we got this thoroughly mixed, like thoroughly mixed. What we don't want is any of these onions stuck together. And at this point in the game, it don't matter if you break them fresh ones. I was careful with the first ones, so I'd have, you know, pretty little rings of soft onion. But right now, we're good. We've already got those pretty little rings. We're gonna have a nice mixture of both now, because the new young ones in here, they're thinner. So it don't matter if they're just, I mean, we could even have blended that into a paste. You know, now you're on the final frontier. You just opened up another door. You want to do that? You want to puree the new onions and throw them in there? Fucking great, do it. It's totally fine. But this right here is how I wanted to do it. So that's mixed. I don't see any rings that are whole stuck together. You don't want that to happen at this stage, because, well, you'll cook it for 10 more minutes and then have to separate them and cook it again because they didn't cook evenly. So, got another little piece over here. Shit. Toss it up in here. Alright. Now, this is on medium heat. I'm going to pause this for ten minutes. Now it's only been about 3 minutes, but I got to turn this heat down. That's way too high. We don't want to cook our flavor up. We just want to add more onion flavor. So we're putting it on medium low. And we're going to finish that time out on medium low. And we're going to take the lid off here for just a second, let it cool down a bit. And this is an awesome pan, nothing fucking sticks to it. So I don't have to worry about my caramel sticking to my pan. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a lovely pan. And you know, you can't get anything like a really good pan to cook in, honestly. If you're a cook, you can use fucking forks and spoons and shitty, cheap plastic spatulas you burnt the handle off of and everything else, but pans, man, very important. So I'm gonna leave this lid off for we got 6.5 minutes left on that 10. Looks like it's cooling down enough. Turn that heat down just a little lower. It's on the second dot from being on low. Because that sugar's starting to heat up. You see the difference? And liquid with sugar in it. It's a very large difference. on how it behaves. It's kind of like a kid with too much fucking sugar, you know. They don't behave right either. So you gotta watch them. It's all the same shit. Man, this smells really good. Wonder what all this would be good on. You don't have to go Asian. You don't have to use this. You can use Mexican, South American, whatever you want to call it. You could use Bulgarian, Korean, Vietnamese, Thai, it's all different. This is Japanese, so that's what we did, Japanese. But you don't have to do that. I just bought a jar of pickled okras. I think I'm gonna add just a little vinegar to that from my pickled okra. That'll cool that sugar down a little bit. It's not gonna override any flavors. Vinegar is gonna, you know, actually make it a little more acidic. Complement that lemon pepper that I told you about earlier. It's gonna, everything in this dish is complimentary so far. I could go put some weird shit in it, like basil or something right now and fucking ruin it. But that's not what we're doing. We're not ruining shit right now. I'm gonna get that, spread it around off that fire. We got 5 minutes. We're gonna put that lid back on for them 5 minutes and pause her. Now we're down to 3 minutes. You see what the middle did? You see how that caramel's forming? That's literally caramel. It's just weird flavored caramel. You wouldn't want a fucking candy made out of it, I don't think. And some people might. But we're gonna mix that caramel into our fresh onions here. Try to definitely get that hot sugar on all of the ones we just put in first. Go on and help them break down, but you know, this could be ready right now. It's only gonna thicken up. See that? Ain't shit to it but to do it. This is it right here. An alarm is a liar. It is a lying son of a bitch. We still got a whole minute left. Now we spread that out. We're gonna put a lid on it again. And we're gonna set it for 5 more minutes. See, this is gonna be an hour long to cook onions. I know it seems a little bit over the top, but I don't think anything really, what's the word? Well, flavorful is a good one to start with. I don't think anything this flavorful has ever been cooked fast or in a short amount of time or even rushed in any way, shape, or form. So after this 5 minutes is up, we're going to look at it, and I'm assuming, since I said 60 minutes in the beginning of the video, that I have probably kept my heat just where it needs to be the whole entire time to make it 60 fucking minutes long. But that's how I wanted to do it. You don't have to do it that way. You can cook it fast. And if you can compensate for your loss of aroma and loss of flavor and taste and all your different senses, do it. Find a fast way. Show me how to do it. I want to learn it. And if I didn't have to go somewhere at 5 o'clock in the morning, I wouldn't be up doing this right now. I'd be up in the morning doing this. But, yeah, or whatever, dude. My alarm's full of shit, for real. It's just ringing for no reason now. It ain't even close. See how thick that is? How it's just, it all pulls. I'm gonna get this liquid back here and throw it up in there. Throw it in the mix, put it in the middle. Flip it, toss it, turn it, whatever you gotta do to get it all mixed. My alarm's back there just threatening me now. But that right there is some of the best stuff I've ever tasted. No matter what country I was in. Never been to Japan. I don't even know how close Japan is to anywhere I've been, but I think I could sell this to a Japanese person as an American varietal of Japanese food. And I don't know. Oh wow, I don't know anything about Japanese curries at all. Nothing. I'm absolutely clueless. If you do know anything about Japanese curries, drop that shit in the comments and tell me a little bit about it. Because I know nothing about it. I'm completely ignorant to Japanese curry and what it consists of, or if it even exists. Has anybody ever heard of it before? I don't think I ever heard of it until I said it just now. I'm sure they have it. I don't know why they wouldn't. But lid back on. We're gonna set this screaming son of a bitch to 6. And that'll be our whole hour of cooking onions right there when that goes off. And as soon as it goes off, I'll lift the lid and show you the finished product. Now, if I was going to serve this fresh, I have about 4.5 minutes to go. I would never do this if I was going to serve this to someone right out of the pan. But this is going to sit in the fridge all night and marinate in its own stuff. So I have a pinch of ground ginger to complement the fresh ginger I added at the beginning, and to bring that on back out, because I'm sure we've lost some aroma from that. Don't be scared to try it. There's lots of things. If you just have an hour to kill, stand in your kitchen. See, I had about 30 minutes to really kill, but now I'm going to stay up 30 minutes past my bedtime, so finishing it. Yeah. But I love to cook, so especially when I keep getting better and better at it. No matter how good I was to begin with, it just keeps getting better. That's about right. We got 3 minutes left. And we're going to let it go that 3 minutes with the lid on it to reconstitute that ginger powder I just threw in there, and it'll be done. So the video's at 34:37 right now with all the pauses. So there was about 10 minutes of time that was paused, you know, by the time this is finished. Remember, there was, you know, 10 minutes that wasn't on video. So it took a good hour to make this, but it probably take a good minute to eat it. But it is It's wonderful stuff. It really is good. And now my timer, I guess it isn't going to go off at all. So, but it's done. It's at 0. And that's it right there. I'm going to turn the heat all the way off. Give it a good stir. More like flipping it. Flip it. I'll flip ya. Back and forth right here. See how consistent it looks? Definitely wasn't a bad idea to add those onions at the end. I can already tell. I haven't tasted it. But I know what it tasted like already. I already had a pretty good idea what it tasted like. So, all right. Wow. All right. Damn, that's good. No salt, except the soy sauce and all that, and it's still got plenty of salt in it. The bouillon, I did not need to shake any salt into this dish. And it has the perfect amount of salt to sugar, to vinegar, to lemon pepper, to white pepper, to bird's eye pepper. Roasted garlic is perfect. I can taste everything I put in there, including the pre-mixed mix that I built the whole goddamn thing off of. So, sea salt, brown sugar, dehydrated garlic, soy sauce, ginger, spices. I hate when they say spices. We know the whole damn jar of spices. Onion, rice, roasted sesame seeds. See, now we could have done that. We could have added sesame seeds to this. Vinegar powder. Well, I'll be damned. Ain't I a smarty pants? Alright, and that's it. I mean, you got a couple anti-caking agents and coagulant shit in there, but other than that, I mean, I just read everything with a taste. Which is everything I added, and then I added plus some. I added extra stuff. Alright. I'm going to pause this. Alright. So these are 2 New York strips that I cooked earlier with Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, that Japanese steak rub, or barbecue rub, sorry, that they, you know, had mixed, and a little bit of bird's eye chilies, a little bit of white pepper, no black pepper, no lemon pepper, none of that. Fairly simple steak. And then I took the juices from those steaks. Alright. And even when it comes to pouring stuff, like just now, you know, let's get all them onions out of there. See, all these onions were at the bottom of the barrel. We put them on this steak. And these onions came off the top. So they're going to have less liquid in them. So let's add that liquid, because that's going to make a difference. It's gonna make these two plates even on flavor. All right, now that's it. I hope you learned something, because this is gonna be amazing. Mañana. Have a good night.